Well, all right, and welcome back to the shop. Today, we're going to do some etching on various metals. So we've got steel, copper, and aluminum, and a little piece of Damascus. We're going to etch all of these with the same solution of salt and water. So the ratio of salt to water will be the same across all of my etches today. So without further ado, what I'm going to go do is head into my office, cut some vinyl to cover this, that, and those, and this little guys. All right, so we are over here at the desk. We've got the vinyl weeded out, and now I just got to put the masking material on the front. So here we are at the etching table, we'll call it for now. It's just the table I have upstairs with some better lighting, hopefully. We're going to clean the metal. I started touching this one up. You can see kind of the finish we're going for. I have this this Scotch-Brite pad, red 3M scuff pad, Scotch-Brite 3M brand. That's what I got. They're better than the green ones. They're a little more abrasive. So what I've been doing to get this, I have another video where I go into depth about how much to clean this, but you want to basically clean the heck out of this. First of all, get all the oxidation off. I've already started this one, but I'm just going to show you with a paper towel what it's supposed to do. Basically, you're going to clean everything off as good as you can. You don't want any oils from your fingers on the parts that are going to get stuck down with the vinyl. So we're going to clean that off. As you can see, it's very, very flat, very clean. Then you go ahead and grab some paper towels and some rubbing alcohol with the highest content isopropyl you can find, and clean off the metal real nice. Basically, you want to just keep rubbing it until you don't see any more gray coming off. Once you see that, you know that the metal's clean. You just don't want any of that debris on there because that's what's going to stop your mask from sticking. See, it's getting better. Just keep doing that, flipping your towel around. And as you can see, there's really not much debris coming off anymore. So I'd say that one's probably pretty good to go. You can see what we're dealing with there, right? So let's go ahead and we're going to do the rest. Here's the Damascus steel. Looks pretty on one side. The other side I have polished already. Warm it up. If you've got extra vinyl, wrap it around the back because you don't want to etch the back. Okay, so we're out here at the table, set up, ready to go. We've got the power supply here. We've got the bucket with these pieces of wood on top with just a couple of notches in it so you can run the wires in there and support the pieces in the water. And we've got our piece for our cathode here. So we're going to get this wired up. I have attached new leads because what happens on the last ones, I had these wires, the thin wire with the separate strands in it, and they seemed to constantly wear out. So today I just refreshed the wires, added these alligator plugs on there, and I'm putting on some standard household electrical wire, so this way it'll be easier to clean. I'm not sure how that's going to affect the continuity or whatever, but we're going to find out. I'm just going to make sure everything on here is clean. Alright, so we're over here at the water. It's about 150 degrees. What I'm doing differently this time is, last time I had these wires that were split wire, you know, it's like frayed wire in the inside, and I kind of spread it out and taped it on, which it seems to me it comes loose, it's a little sketchy, so I added these to some household wire, which is easily replaceable here, and added alligator clips to the ends of these. So this way, all I need to do is fix these up if I need to change anything, and these are definitely a lot more rigid than the thin wire that comes in the middle of these guys here. What I'm doing is attaching the positive side here to the corner of the actual piece we want to etch, and I'm hoping that contact will be enough. Once this is in the water and sitting there, I think it should be fine. The more contact you have, the better. These are fairly small pieces, so I think that's enough to kind of drop it down into the solution. But yeah, so then I have the negative one here. We're going to attach that to the center of our back plate here, the negative, and then we're going to drop that right in the back side here. And actually, since it's sitting so deep, I'm going to pull it up just a little bit so the alligator clip isn't completely submerged, so I'm not ruining that at all. So here we go. Now you're looking down in there. You can see the positive with the alligator clip on there, and then our negative back here. And that's it. That's pretty much all there is to it. Now we're going to go ahead and turn on our power supply, the Dr. Meter DC power supply PS305DM. For anyone who's looking for it, I just got that off of Amazon. It was not very expensive. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and hit my positive onto the white side, and then the negative to the black side. Let's give it some more current. That's about all I got. So 3.1 volts is all it's allowing me, but it is working. So we'll give that a shot and see how it goes. Alright, so we're over here after just a couple seconds. I have set this as high as my meter will go. If the meter won't go any higher, it's just because your solution is pretty much maxed out with the ability to transfer current. So my water's at 150 degrees. You can see just in just a couple seconds how much action we're getting. So it is definitely working. You can see that it's sizzling and doing what it's supposed to do. We're going to give this about a half an hour, and then pull the positive piece out of here and see what we have. Well, okay, we're back, and that water's looking pretty mucky. I just wanted to show you the settings though. After a half an hour, we have 5 amps and 3.4 volts, so it's where it was originally. Yeah, I think this was a good etch. You can see it's got a lot of the sooty stuff in there. You gotta wipe it out with your hand. That's a good sign. And it's all clean. It's not pitty at all. Nice and smooth. That's a very nice etch. That's what you have after 30 minutes. That's nice. I don't even need to talk. You just look at that. You see yourself. It's great. Perfect. And remember, I mentioned the line on the eyeball very thin there, and you can see it still made it. There was not really any blowout under that thin piece. And also on the A, that little tab on the A, that's very pointy still. Yeah, look at that. That little piece, no undercut. I'm happy with the result. This is why you heat the metal and get good clean starting point. That looks great. Alright, let's do the next one. So, what do we want to do next? Do we want to do the copper? I kind of want to do the copper next. So we're going to go ahead and use this water again for the copper. I'm going to actually add the rest of the water I prepared for the other stuff and just heat it up so it's still the same concentration. It'll just bring the water level up and add some fresh water, but still with the same 2 cups of salt that I had before. It's the same water, so I'm not adding anything extra to it. I figured the surface area of this is pretty large, like both sides of this, when all we're doing is etching the face of this. I know this piece of metal is larger, but technically the surface area of this is probably bigger than what this has for surface area. You see what I'm saying? So I think we'll be okay. I've got the piece cut out here on the corner for the alligator clip to go on, and what I'm going to do is just drop this down in the front so you can see how it's going down here, and then I'm going to just drop it in. Alright, so those are both submerged. I've got the other piece in the back. I think you can see that here, and we're going to put the positive back on. Same settings as before. Now actually we're getting interesting. 7 volts and 5 amps. Let's turn that down. Yeah, so I'm going to try to get this at 3.3, 3.4 like it was. But anyways, 3.3 volts, 2 amps. Alright, we'll see you in a half an hour. it's been 30 minutes, so it's still at 3.3 volts and 1.73 amps, so almost 2 amps. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out. Looks like we got an etch on there. We will, let's go pull it in the sink and I'll see. All right, so we have not a great result, but interesting result, and I'm not sure what the reason is. You can see here where the change is. I peeled back, you know, this mask was over here, so I peeled back the mask before I went any further. And you can see that it does affect the finish, but it did not really go deep like the steel did. Probably the amperage, maybe? Maybe it's a different thing. It did etch the metal for sure, but it didn't go deeper. And it started doing this weird thing around the outside of the mask. Like it was under etched, it was going underneath. It's kind of weird. It looks kind of cool, but I'm pretty sure it'll just wipe right off, right? Yeah. I'm gonna try something different. In this video, I'll just do another mask. I'll import what I have for the night and then approach this again tomorrow. There you go. See where that little sticker is by the A? That's no good. Not ideal. All right, so with the copper not doing so good, let's go ahead and do that tomorrow. We'll worry about making it work tomorrow, but we got our result for what we got. We're gonna go while the water is still warm on this. We've got aluminum here. We're gonna put the aluminum in the front piece, and oops, no, we're gonna face it the right direction. And then we'll do the same for the back. We got the aluminum here. Clamp onto that as good as we can. Kind of make sure it's got some good meat on there. And then we will put this in the back here. Attach the black to the black, red to the white. And what do we got? 2.7. So it's amazing to see the difference. I didn't change any of the settings, I just changed the metal. And we're getting the same amount of amps but less volts with aluminum, although it is already steaming quite well. I don't know if we can see that here. It's already starting to steam up. I say steam, but you know, do its thing. So we're gonna do the same thing, half an hour. Once again, we'll try to be consistent with the voltage. Let's see if I can get that up a little bit. 2.37 amps and 3.3 volts. So we'll be back in 30 minutes. The aluminum has been in there for 30 minutes. It is at 3.9 volts. It has risen slightly. Kind of crazy. I don't know what's going on with that. But here we go. We're going to turn this off. Safety first. Then we're going to take the positive lead off. Pull the whole thing right out. Give it a quick wipe. Alright. Yep. Definitely etched the aluminum, as it should have. You can definitely see its nice deep channel. Alright, let me rinse it off and we'll be right back. Alright, so we're back with the aluminum. I think we're just going to film with the one camera now, but this is definitely a great result. It's a pretty deep etch. Can you see that? It's pretty nice and deep, and it's actually really clean. That looks great. There, now you can see that. How much edge we've got there. Came out beautiful. So if you want to do aluminum, that's another good way. I'll go ahead and put the settings again up here. I don't really see any depth difference between. Wow, I can't even talk right now. I don't see any difference. I don't see any difference in the depth between the one on the left, the one on the right. Yeah, they're about the same, even though this one was deeper in the water. See, it was deeper. Anyway, that's what we got. So that's cool. 2 wins today. Comparatively, let's just show you. Here's steel for a half an hour, and here's aluminum for a half an hour. I'd say comparable depths. The aluminum looks a little bit deeper, but again, it's a softer material, so that's fantastic. Now at least I know there's a formula that's, you know, last time I kind of eyeballed it. Now I can tell you, go and use 2 cups of salt and X amount of water. I'll get the right amount of fluid liters that I used. I think it looks great. So let's see, what do we have left? Oh yeah, the Damascus. Let's do the Damascus last. So for the Damascus, because it's steel, we're going to use the steel plate backer. And this is what we put on the Damascus, a nice little be kind. Little be kind message to be kind. Right, so we're going to etch and see how it does on steel. I'm just going to clamp it so it's touching the back. I'm just going to clamp it right on the corner. So very minimal setup on this. I'm hoping, what am I hoping? I'm hoping for the best. That's what I'm hoping for. All right, we're going to put this in. All right. Right, we got the steel. Here's the steel. What a steel. Take the lead from the positive, and we're going to try to get this nice and flat on the back. I don't know if we're going to see that. I think that's good. So we're going to land. Can we see that? Yeah, not really, but there you go. I clamped it on there. We're good. Put the positive lead on there. Turn it on. Same settings we had before. We're at 4 volts and 2.36. We're going to go down a little bit on the volts. So now, Damascus steel. 2 amps, 3.4 volts. We're going to give it a half an hour. All right, and now we're back with the Damascus. I saved you the hassle of waiting for me to pull it out and all that, but everything was as it was. But I just wanted to show the results of all of the tests from today. Now, I got the Damascus out. You can see that it definitely affected the different steels differently as it went through the layers, but it's a good etch. It's a nice solid etch. So what I'm going to do after this is etch this in some ferric chloride first. Ferric chloride will bring out it will darken the softer metals. I believe that's how it works. So how you see those stripes. I'm going to go ahead and do that tomorrow, and then we'll give you another update at what it looks like. But there it is. 2 cups of salt with that water. That's 30 minutes. So you could even go less and still have a really decent etch that'll last forever. So there's that. This one's the copper one. I'll try to do it now that I have better lighting as well. The copper, you can see it kind of started having some undercut where it was eating under the mask. I think that's because it was too much voltage. I don't know. Copper's tough. I think if you're gonna do copper, ferric chloride is the way to go. That really seems to do a good job. Gets a dark, deep etch. I'm going to actually do one of those on this video. I'll just take one of these masks and do something on copper and show you just to illustrate that. Then you've got the aluminum. Nice deep etch. I'd say the aluminum is a solid win. There's nothing wrong with that. And then, last but not least, the steel. Looks great. 30 minutes. 30 minutes or less. Nice deep etch. All right, so what's the goal? Tomorrow we'll try to get a better etch. I'll show you how to get a better etch on copper. And we will try to clean up the Damascus with some ferric chloride. Cool? All right, until then. It's the next day. We're going to finish up those 2 parts of metal that I was talking about. We have the Damascus steel and we have the copper. The failed experiment from yesterday is on the back side, so we're going to compare later. Ferric chloride, copper etchant solution. That's what we're going to use. Do not heat higher than 55, that's degrees Celsius, or 135 degrees Fahrenheit. The warmer it is, the better it acts. So we're going to put it in a bag, just enough to cover the piece. And then we're gonna heat it up in the microwave very little bit, a couple seconds at a time. I'm gonna feel it by hand to make sure it's getting warm, and that's it. Then we're gonna put the copper in there, shake it up, and that's how we etch this. You don't have to go and use electricity. Copper needs acid. After the ferric chloride acid, we're gonna use some liver of sulfur. It smells like eggs, and it's really gross, but it does the job. It makes it black, so you put something silver in there and it blackens. Anyways, this is what we're doing first. This etchant basically removes the steel and this blackens it up. We're going to open the bag. You can see I'm wearing safety gloves for all of this because it is acid and you don't want to get it on your hands. We're just going to put a little bit of this in a bag. What you do once it's in there, you kind of just keep agitating it. So we're going to get this logo over into the corner and just keep agitating it. But first, let's go in the microwave. Okay, so we're going to go for 10 seconds and we'll check it. Make sure nothing's exploding. It's already a little warm. A little warm. We'll go another 10 seconds. Oh, it's actually doing something weird to the bag. That's probably not good. It's warm. Let's try it where it's at. Piece of copper in there despite the bag failure. Instantly, it already blackens it. See if I pull that out? Let's try to get an even feel first. There we go. That's probably the best way to do it. Make sure to keep agitating it as much as you can. You can leave this for a while. Make sure it's covered. You don't want any air bubbles on the piece. There. Let's just leave it like that for a little bit. Let's try to get the air bubbles away. Depends on how deep of an etch you want. But this way, you won't blow out the mask. You're not going to undercut any of the edges. I'm pretty sure that this, where the A is, this fine piece of the A, will stay in there without any undercut. We'll compare. This is why I'm doing it on the same piece as what we did yesterday, so I can show you what it does. Maybe an idea, instead of heating it in the bag, because this, I think what happened is it was touching both sides and it got hot, so it heated the plastic. I think a better idea would be to heat the solution in a smaller plastic cup and then put it in the plastic bag. Don't do as I do. That's why I do these videos, to show. I kind of want it warmer. I know what I could do to heat it up even now. Yeah, there's still warm water in this, so what I'll do to heat up even more, heat up the solution a little bit. So just pour some water on here. This is all kind of ghetto way to do this, but I'm just trying to show you that this works to do an etch as opposed to electricity, salt water. Let's pull it out and look at it. Let's just see what we have so far. Again, make sure you wear your gloves. Yep, it's actually getting, I can see it from here. There's an edge to it. Say it's about, a micron right now. I don't know if you can even see that on film, but it's getting there. So we're gonna put this in for another second. We're gonna let that sit in the sink and simmer. And do some etching. But we also have the piece of Damascus steel here with the little logo, and I found this cup that it actually fits perfectly in. So what I'm going to do is put enough of this in here to cover it, and then I'm going to microwave this, and I'll be right back. So we were in the microwave. This is warm, properly warm. You can kind of see it's a little steamy. I'm just going to go ahead and dump this in. Just like that. And then we can see, can you see it automatically getting darker? See how the lines automatically start showing up? Look at that. You can see how it's etching the different steels. That's good enough. That's enough for the Damascus, because all we want to do is get those lines back. Okay, and again, I really, wear the gloves. There you have it. Now you can see what a difference it is from where we were before. You're etching the softer metals and darkening them, and as you can see the back even. You can see how fast this stuff works though. The grain of the metal as it eats it up. So once you polish your Damascus, all you need is a little ferric chloride, and this is the kind of results you get. Looks great. And since this solution is warm, I'm going to dump the rest of the solution in with the copper. Keep going with the copper. I think that's probably good for demonstrative purposes, for demonstrative purposes. You can save the solution. I'll probably end up putting it in a cup after I cut video for the day. I'm gonna rinse the rest of that off. It's still going to be clean copper underneath. What you do to fix that is this here, liver of sulfur. This stuff you also want to heat up. Hot water. That's probably enough. A couple drops of this is all you need. Liver of sulfur, smells like farts. So that's plenty. Whoa, that's a lot. Mix this up. All right, now that we've got that, you probably could use a Q-tip or something. I'm just going to use a little bit of this on the edge and dab it on. You'll see that the copper will start to blacken. There you go. In some parts there might be some oils or something that from where I touched it, it's got to work through first. Like on the M, see there, it's taking a little bit. But it'll come back. There you go. So now, you have your blackened copper. There it is. And you can also do the same thing with this. Let that sit for a few seconds. We'll come back to that. Ultimately, you could let this sit in it too if you had a smaller piece or like a ring or something. This will actually affect like jewelry. See if I do my ring. Depending on where you have oils. Probably not the best idea to be doing this right on your hand, but see what it does to a ring. This is silver as well, but it will blacken silver too. Probably want to be dumping it in there, not putting it on while you're holding it, but just to give you an idea, this is what it does. Just silver or copper, just a little bonus for you. All right, so let's peel this off. All right, now for the reveal of the top. There you have it. You know, we didn't leave it for very long. And if that was hotter, it would have been even deeper. Now, rinse that guy off. That is a result. Ferric chloride for just a few minutes and liver of sulfur to blacken it up. I think that's the point. See what happened yesterday with electricity? Not that. This. That's what you want. Bam. Looks fantastic, doesn't it? Look at that. Let's try it off. Yeah, see there, you can see the edge. Getting a nice edge in there. Nice dark edge. I think it looks classy. That's stylish. I might put this on my desk. Trim it up, put a little wood around it. But anyways, there you go, guys. This is the point. If you want to etch copper, use ferric chloride acid. Don't do what I do. Heat it up in a plastic container first. Don't put it in a Ziploc first. But the Ziploc bag does work well for the actual etching process part. So we're going to pull the Damascus out now. You can see what's up. That looks pretty good. This is just to show you that it can be done. It's a heavy duty, high carbon steel, but you still get variety. You can see the difference between the high parts and the low parts. And a little bonus on how you can blacken up your Damascus. If you have a piece laying around and it's shiny because you cleaned it, and you want those grains back, you just get some ferric chloride and it'll etch away the softer pieces of the metal and leave the high spots, and that's what you see. That's that classic look. So anyways, that's where I'm going to leave it for today. We're going to have some more videos coming up soon with a brand new camera. Today we're filming this in 4K, and I got a new camera coming tomorrow that also features 4K, so you hopefully can expect to see some better quality from my videos soon. Thanks for coming along for this ride. I know it was kind of a long-winded one, but if any of this information is helpful to you, please, let me know down below or give me a thumbs up. Subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, and find me on the interwebs. I'll be updating my website too with some new photos and stuff of the project, so go and see some stuff. Thank you.